10 silent signs your arteries may be clogged. Don't ignore these warnings. Picture this. It's late at night, and Mary, a 72-year-old grandmother, slides under her blanket with thick socks on her feet. The house is quiet, the lights are dim, yet her toes feel like ice. She chuckles softly and says, "That's just what happens when you get old." But what Mary didn't realize was that her body wasn't simply aging. It was whispering a message that her blood wasn't flowing as it should, that her arteries were slowly narrowing, and that danger was quietly building beneath the surface. Here's the frightening truth. Clogged arteries don't always announce themselves with dramatic chest pain or sudden collapse. Instead, they often hide behind everyday discomforts we brush aside. Unusual fatigue, a stubborn heartburn, or even small wounds on the legs that just won't heal. They seem so minor, so easy to ignore. And yet, these subtle signs can be the very first warnings that the heart and blood vessels are struggling. The tragedy is that many people don't notice until it's too late. But the good news? If you know what to look for, you can act early, protect your arteries, and give yourself more years of strength, laughter, and time with the people you love most. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. Together, we'll uncover 10 silent signs of clogged arteries you should never ignore. Each one may look ordinary, but once you see the connection, you'll never look at them the same way again. But before we begin, may I ask you for one small favor? If you truly care about keeping your heart strong and your future bright, please subscribe to this channel. That way, you'll always receive gentle, life-saving reminders like this one. Reminders that could make the difference between a healthy tomorrow and an unexpected trip to the hospital. Let's begin with a sign that's often dismissed as nothing more than a nuisance: cold feet or toes at night. Many older adults complain that their feet feel icy even under layers of blankets. Most simply laugh it off, blaming age or poor circulation from sitting too long. But in reality, this can be an early and serious signal the blood isn't flowing the way it should. Think of your arteries as the highways of your body. When those highways are open and clear, blood travels smoothly, carrying oxygen and warmth to every part of you. But when cholesterol and plaque start to build up, those highways narrow, like traffic lanes closed during construction. The result? Less blood reaches the farthest parts of the body, your feet and toes. They become the first to complain, often with a chill that never seems to go away. Take the story of Mary again. She tried heated socks, an extra quilt, even warm baths before bed. But nothing worked. What she didn't realize was that her arteries in the legs were narrowing, a condition called peripheral artery disease. Left unchecked, it could raise her risk not only of leg pain and infections, but also of a heart attack or stroke. The good news? Recognizing this symptom early gives you a chance to act. If your feet feel unusually cold, especially compared to the rest of your body, or if you notice numbness, tingling, or color changes, don't just dismiss it as getting older. Talk with your doctor. A simple circulation test can reveal if blood flow is restricted, and treatments or lifestyle changes can make a world of difference. So the next time you tuck into bed and your toes feel colder than the rest of you, pause and listen. It may not just be age. It may be your body sending a quiet SOS, and while cold feet may seem like just a small inconvenience, another silent sign can be even easier to overlook. That heavy, unusual fatigue that creeps in when you're doing the simplest tasks. We all expect to slow down a little as the years go by. A short rest after gardening, a pause when climbing stairs. It feels normal, even natural. But when you find yourself unusually exhausted from the simplest tasks, folding laundry, walking across the living room, or chatting with friends, it may not be age, it may be your arteries quietly struggling. Think of your body as a busy city. Your heart is the power station, and your arteries are the electric lines carrying energy everywhere. If those lines are blocked, the lights in the city begin to dim. That's exactly what happens when your arteries clog. Your muscles and organs don't receive the oxygen-rich blood they need. You feel drained, weak, and short of breath, even when you haven't done much at all. Take Robert, a 68-year-old retired teacher. He used to love his morning walks, but lately, just strolling to the mailbox left him winded. At first he laughed and blamed his age, yet deep down, he knew something wasn't right. A doctor's visit confirmed it. His arteries were narrowing, forcing his heart to work harder and leaving him without the energy he once took for granted. The scary part? Many people brush off this fatigue, thinking it's just getting older. But unusual tiredness, especially when paired with dizziness or shortness of breath, is often one of the body's earliest cries for help. The hopeful part? With attention, testing, and lifestyle changes, you can restore energy and protect your heart before the damage becomes severe. So if you're feeling worn out from tasks that used to be effortless, don't ignore it. Listen closely. Your body may be telling you it's time to act, and fatigue isn't the only master of disguise. Sometimes clogged arteries don't drain your energy. They hide behind something that feels like simple stomach trouble. Most of us think of indigestion or heartburn as a stomach issue. Maybe it's from eating too fast, enjoying a spicy dinner, or that extra cup of coffee. But here's the shocking truth. Sometimes that burning discomfort isn't coming from your stomach at all. It's your heart waving a red flag. When arteries that supply the heart become clogged, blood flow is restricted. This can trigger sensations that feel surprisingly similar to indigestion, a tightness, pressure, or burning pain just beneath the breastbone. Many seniors dismiss it, popping an antacid and moving on, unaware that their heart may be under silent attack. Take Linda, 72, who often felt a heavy, bloated sensation after meals. She blamed it on aging digestion. One evening, the discomfort spread upward toward her throat. That was her body's way of signaling something more serious. A checkup revealed blocked coronary arteries. What she thought was just bad digestion turned out to be a dangerous warning. The tricky part is that heart-related discomfort often comes and goes. It might flare up after eating, when climbing stairs, or even at rest. Because it mimics harmless heartburn, people delay seeking help, and that delay can cost precious time. The hopeful truth is this: paying attention to unusual or persistent indigestion can save your life. If heartburn feels different than usual, lasts longer, or appears without a clear food trigger, it's time to talk to your doctor. Listening closely could prevent a silent condition from becoming a crisis. While indigestion hides in the chest, another warning signal shows itself much more visibly: in your skin. Sometimes, your body literally paints the danger on your face. Our skin often reflects the state of our inner health, like a living canvas painting silent stories. One of the lesser-known signs of heart trouble is when your skin suddenly looks unusually pale, grayish, or even takes on a bluish tint around the lips or fingertips. It might seem like nothing more than fatigue or aging, but in truth, it could be your heart crying for help. When the heart struggles to pump blood efficiently, oxygen delivery throughout the body drops. Without enough oxygen, the skin loses its healthy glow. You may notice that your face looks washed out in the mirror, your lips seem faintly blue, or your hands feel colder and paler than before. These are subtle yet powerful clues. Take Robert, a 68-year-old retiree who always had a rosy complexion. His wife noticed one morning that his skin looked almost gray, even though he insisted he felt fine. He dismissed it as just being tired. A week later, shortness of breath led him to the emergency room, where doctors discovered his heart was struggling to circulate oxygen-rich blood. The pale complexion wasn't about tiredness at all. It was his body's early warning system. The hopeful news is that such changes are visible. Unlike silent symptoms hidden deep inside, these signals can be spotted by you or your loved ones. If your skin tone shifts noticeably, especially alongside fatigue or lightheadedness, don't wait. It's better to check once and be reassured than to overlook a life-saving clue. And while the skin can reveal what's happening inside, another signal often speaks louder, through how quickly you become exhausted doing the simplest things. We all feel tired sometimes, maybe after a long day of chores, a restless night, or simply because of age. But there's a different kind of fatigue, a deep, unusual weakness that creeps in even after the smallest effort. For many older adults, this can be one of the most overlooked signs of a struggling heart. When the heart can't pump efficiently, your muscles and organs don't get the oxygen they need. The result? Even climbing a few steps, carrying groceries, or walking across the room leaves you unusually drained. This isn't the kind of tiredness that fades with a nap. It lingers, making everyday activities feel heavier than before. Take Helen, 75, who loved tending her garden. She began noticing that watering her flowers left her short of breath and shaky. At first, she blamed age, thinking, "I'm just slowing down." But when the weakness became so overwhelming she couldn't finish simple tasks, she finally sought help. Tests revealed heart disease quietly stealing her strength. Recognizing that strange fatigue saved her life. The hopeful truth? You don't have to ignore this silent cry. If fatigue feels out of proportion to your activity, or if weakness comes without reason, it's worth paying attention. Sometimes the body whispers before it shouts, and catching those whispers can change the future. While weakness steals your energy, another silent signal can interrupt your rest entirely, hiding in the quiet hours of the night when your heart should be at peace. Sleep should be the time when our body heals and our heart finally rests. But for many people with hidden heart problems, the night becomes a battleground. One of the most telling silent signs is when you suddenly wake up gasping for air, or when lying flat makes it hard to breathe. When the heart struggles, fluid can build up in the lungs, especially at night. This makes breathing more difficult when you're lying down. Some people find themselves needing extra pillows, propping up their head just to get comfortable. Others wake up suddenly, heart racing, feeling like they're suffocating. It can be terrifying, and it's often mistaken for simple insomnia or even anxiety. Consider Mary, 70, who loved reading before bed. Over time, she noticed she could no longer lie flat. She had to stack 3 pillows to sleep. Soon, she began waking at 2 or 3 a.m., gasping for air. She thought it was stress or age catching up to her, but when she finally mentioned it to her doctor, tests revealed her heart was failing to keep up at night. Those restless hours were her body's urgent warning. The good news is that this symptom is impossible to ignore if you pay attention. Trouble breathing during sleep is not just aging, it's a signal worth acting on. Talking to your doctor can lead to treatments that restore both your sleep and your peace of mind. And while the night reveals the heart's hidden struggles, another silent warning shows up in broad daylight, in your legs and feet, where swelling quietly signals what's happening inside. Your legs can quietly reveal what your heart is struggling to say. Swelling in the ankles, feet, or lower legs, often brushed off as just aging or too much salt, can actually be a silent cry from your heart. When the heart weakens, it can't pump blood effectively. This causes fluid to build up, especially in the lower body where gravity pulls it. At first, the swelling may seem minor. Shoes feel tighter at the end of the day, or socks leave deep marks around your ankles. But over time, the puffiness grows more noticeable, sometimes accompanied by heaviness or discomfort. Many dismiss it, believing it's harmless. Yet this pooling of fluid, known as edema, is one of the most common early signs of heart failure. Take John, a 74-year-old grandfather who enjoyed daily walks. He began noticing that his ankles looked puffy every evening. His family thought it was nothing, just water weight. But as weeks passed, his legs swelled so much he couldn't fit into his favorite shoes. Tests later revealed his heart wasn't pumping strongly enough, causing fluid to back up. What looked like a small nuisance was actually his body's early warning. The hopeful truth is that noticing swelling gives you the chance to act before things get worse. If your legs, ankles, or feet regularly swell without clear reason, especially if paired with fatigue or shortness of breath, it's a signal worth sharing with your doctor. While swelling on the outside is visible, another warning sign works more quietly on the inside, showing up in your digestion and the way your stomach feels after meals. We rarely think of the stomach as being connected to the heart, but the two are closely linked. Sometimes clogged arteries or a weakened heart can reduce blood flow to the digestive system. When that happens, your stomach may start to send signals that are easy to confuse with something else. Indigestion, bloating, or discomfort after even the lightest meals. Imagine sitting down for dinner and realizing that halfway through, you already feel full or unusually bloated. You may even experience mild nausea or pressure in the upper abdomen. Many brush this off as just eating too fast or a sensitive stomach. Yet in some cases, these subtle digestive changes can point to reduced circulation from the heart. Take Margaret, a 69-year-old retiree who loved cooking for her family. She noticed that after meals, she often felt uncomfortably bloated, even when she ate very little. she thought it was just age or stress. But during a checkup, her doctor explained that her heart wasn't delivering enough blood to her digestive organs, creating that constant discomfort. What she believed to be a stomach problem was really her heart's quiet warning. The encouraging truth is that these signs, though subtle, give us a chance to listen more carefully. If bloating, nausea, or stomach pain show up frequently, especially without a clear food-related cause, it may be worth exploring further with your doctor. And while digestion may whisper its warnings, another sign can show up right on your skin, when small wounds or sores simply refuse to heal as they should. Our body has a natural rhythm of repair. A small cut, scratch, or bruise should normally heal within days or weeks. But when circulation is poor, often due to clogged arteries, that process slows down dramatically. Wounds may linger, scabs may not form properly, and even the smallest injuries seem to take forever to recover. Why does this happen? Because healing requires oxygen-rich blood to nourish the tissues. When arteries are narrowed, that delivery system weakens. Skin cells starve for oxygen and nutrients, leaving cuts or sores open longer than they should. This isn't just about delayed healing. It's the body's quiet way of saying, "I'm not getting enough circulation." Consider George, 72, who accidentally scratched his leg while gardening. Weeks passed, and instead of closing, the wound stayed red and irritated. He tried creams and home remedies, but nothing worked. Finally, his doctor explained that poor circulation from heart disease was preventing his skin from healing. What seemed like a simple scratch was actually a powerful sign of something deeper. The hopeful side? These wounds are visible. You can see them, track them, and notice if they linger longer than normal. If cuts on your legs, feet, or arms don't heal as expected, it's not something to ignore. It might be the body's early warning, giving you time to act before things get worse. And as wounds reveal the struggle to heal on the outside, another sign often hides in plain sight, through feelings of dizziness or lightheadedness that seem to come out of nowhere. Have you ever stood up quickly and felt the room spin for a moment? Occasional dizziness can be harmless, but when lightheadedness or sudden faint feelings become frequent, it may signal something more serious. Your heart struggling to deliver enough blood and oxygen to the brain. The brain is sensitive. Even a small dip in blood flow can cause you to feel unsteady, dizzy, or like you might faint. Some people describe it as the ground slipping away, while others feel as if they're walking through a fog. This is more than just a nuisance. It can be the body's urgent signal of narrowed arteries or weakening heart function. Take Eleanor, 76, who loved knitting by the window each afternoon. She began noticing that whenever she stood up to fetch her yarn, a wave of dizziness would wash over her. At first, she brushed it off as dehydration. But one day, the dizziness was so strong she nearly fell. Her doctor later confirmed reduced blood flow from clogged arteries was the hidden culprit. What she thought was just getting older was actually her heart quietly crying out. The hopeful truth is that dizziness doesn't have to be a mystery. If you feel lightheaded often, especially alongside fatigue, chest pressure, or irregular heartbeat, it's a sign worth checking immediately. Listening to these moments can prevent far greater harm later on. Now that we've walked together through these 10 silent signs, Perhaps you're beginning to see a gentle pattern. The body never truly stays silent. It whispers, it nudges, it tries again and again to get our attention. Through cold toes, restless nights, unexplained fatigue, or even a small cut that takes too long to heal. None of these signs are meant to frighten us. They are invitations. Invitations to pause, to listen, and to honor the wisdom our body carries. Too often, we dismiss these whispers as just aging or nothing serious. But every story we shared, from Mary's icy feet to Eleanor's dizziness, shows us something important. Catching these signs early can open the door to years of health and precious time with family. It's not about living in fear. It's about living with awareness. Think of it this way. If your car makes a strange noise, you don't ignore it until it breaks down. You check it, because you know caring for it today prevents greater damage tomorrow. Your heart, your arteries, your body deserve the same attention. So as we move forward, remember this. Awareness is the first step, but action is what keeps us safe. And that brings us to the closing part of our journey today. A heartfelt reminder of why protecting your heart matters, and how you can take gentle steps starting right now. As we close this journey together, I want you to remember one simple truth. Your heart is not just an organ. It is the rhythm of your life, the steady beat behind every smile, every hug, every moment shared with the people you love. When the body whispers its warnings, it is not trying to scare you. It is trying to keep you here, longer, stronger, and present for all the little joys that make life beautiful. Maybe as you listened today, one or two signs felt familiar. If they did, don't brush them aside. Talk with your doctor, share your concerns with someone you trust, and take small steps to care for yourself. Awareness is not a burden. It's a gift, because it gives you the chance to act before it's too late. And even if none of these signs sound familiar, hold this knowledge close. Share it with a friend, a sibling, or someone you care about. You never know whose life might be changed simply because you passed along a message of hope and protection. Before you go, I have a gentle request. If this video touched you, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment about what resonated with you most, and share this message with someone you love. Together, we can build a circle of care, where wisdom and awareness protect not just one heart, but many. Because every heartbeat matters, and so does yours.